Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Do what the announcer says, and this guy won't get hurt. Greetings, fellow YouTubers. My name is Tim Gainer. I have no idea what that means. Anyway, welcome to this week's laugh-filled, comedy-induced slop fest that we like to call GainerWorld Live. I am your master of ceremonies, Tim Gainer, your congenial host for the festivities. If you are new here, obviously if you're looking for top shelf comedy, if you're looking for quality entertainment, if you're looking for just the greatest thing that has ever happened in YouTube in possibly the last 10 years, yeah, go click on another page because this ain't it. Basically what we do is we just all kind of hang around. We all talk amongst ourselves in the chat room, which is over there. And if you're new, come on in. We'd love to hear you. Elena is already here. Good evening, Elena. Always a pleasure to hear from you. And the Danimal, yeah. If you are, as I said, if you're new, stop on in. We'd love to talk to you. We have no problem with that. And sometimes we even answer you, as you can see. It is the weekend before the big Labor Day weekend here in the States. The unofficial end of the summer. Liz Jeck is here. Hi, honey. Always glad to see you there. Appreciate you stopping by. What are your plans? Tell me what your plans are for the Labor Day weekend if you're in the United States of America. Let us know. Because a lot of people traveling. I know one of my sons is heading to Denver tomorrow night. For personal reasons, I just going out to, hang with family and friends and things like that. But yeah, the unofficial end of summer. I hate to see summer go. I really do. I've been so busy this summer. I feel like I've missed it in some ways. It's just, it flew by too fast. But I've been able to do a lot of things that I normally would not be able to do if it wasn't summer, and if I hadn't retired, so to speak. But yeah, so let us know. If you're watching the replay, leave them in the comments below. Let us know what you've got planned. I'm kind of stalling for time. Reason being is because I'm going to address the 600-pound gorilla in the room that showed up last night. And I know a lot of people have been bugging me about this today. What do you think about this? Ha ha, Tim. Joke's on you. And I get it. I understand completely. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes before we talk about this. And I'm not even going to tell you what it is right now. But if you know me, you know what it is. If you have been paying attention to the news in the last 24 hours, you know what it is. And but I will comment on it because it is newsworthy. Much as I have feared this for the longest period of time, as much as I don't want to admit it to myself or anyone else, but this thing has happened, and we'll get to that in a minute or so. In the meantime, again, if you're new to the chat room, please come on in. Say hi. We appreciate that. We always like talking to folks. And if you have plans for the holiday weekend, let us know. I'm not going to do anything. I'm probably going to play a lot of golf. That's what I've got planned. And start packing. Start packing for the trip to Start packing for the trip out east. Well, actually, no. I have a rehearsal with the band tomorrow, so there's that. And after that, Liz says you're pregnant. No, I'm not pregnant. No. That rumor has been running around for some time, and no, it's not true. It's just I'm just really fat. So, yeah, there's that. So we'll give it a couple of minutes to talk about this, and we'll give it a couple of minutes because Elena says my youngest son was born on Labor Day that year, so we'll celebrate his birthday on the 5th. Okay, well that's a good thing. That's always a good thing. I'm always happy to hear that. My son was born on Labor Day that year. Okay, I would hope that he was not born on Labor Day of some other year that you're not telling us about. There was like this dual birth thing going on. And yeah, we kind of need to know about that. Liz says, do you have air conditioning? No, actually. But I will give an update on that. I did contact the good folks at the air conditioning and heating company that is dealing with my air conditioning, and they have told me that they are, quote, in the final stages, end quote. I have no idea what that means. Chris King, my brother from another mother, an occasional guest co-host, has checked in as well. Hey, I'm driving, but I could not miss the show today. Yeah, I had a feeling. Because I know, Chris, I know you're on top of this stuff, buddy. And I know that you're waiting for me along with all kinds of other people and before you signed on, I had said that people have been waiting for me to comment on I guess we'll call it the top story of the day. And I'm going to wait for a very good reason, and that reason being that I'm waiting for the usual suspects to show up because, well, yeah. So we'll give it a couple more minutes, and we'll just go ahead and vamp for these few minutes until they do show up. There is one other story that I do really want to talk about that I guess I could. And we'll get into this in a little bit too, about if you've heard about the guy. There was a TikTok that was put out, I guess, yesterday. And this guy quit a $100,000 a year job and drove like halfway across the country to ask Logan Paul, famous YouTuber and apparently prize fighter now, from what I understand, for a job. And on TikTok Live, Logan Paul said no to him. There's a lack of intelligence going on here that we'll get into in a minute. But, I mean, really? And I have, and again, if you haven't heard the news, and we'll get getting into this a little bit, Presley's new album, September 24th, just a few days away, featuring the hit single Carcosa Shore. There's supposed to be another video for them coming out in, I think, a couple of weeks that we'll try to get on the show as well, because everybody seemed to really dig where the boys were coming from, and I appreciate that in every single way. But be that as it may, apparently there is a problem with the YouTube servers this week, because I see like spikes in reception, and I don't understand why. So we'll also let that kind of work itself out while we do this. Liz, you're moving. No, I've done enough of that. Thank you very much. No, we're not going through that mess again. Let me tell you. No. That is not happening. That's just not happening. I like where I'm at, and I like my little studio. I am very happy with the current GainerWorld International Complex, of which we have all become accustomed. So, yeah, there's that. So now that we're all back in our places with sunshiny faces, I guess we should. I guess we can get into this. Anybody who has been a regular, is there an arrival? Arrival for what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Nothing has arrived that I know of. And nothing's leaving that I know of. So, I have to put the glasses on. I have to put the glasses on. Because this is I have several things written out here that we need to talk about. Anybody who is a regular viewer to this show knows I have certain tastes when it comes to music. Yes, Liz says this is serious. You better believe it is, chick. Glasses are on. Anybody who knows me, anybody who's watched this show, anybody who has listened to any of my albums knows that I have a certain standard of music. And there has been something that has been threatened over the course of the last 3 years that has terrified me and shook me to my core. And I thought maybe, just maybe, we might be past the worst of this. Oh no. About 11 o'clock last night, Chicago time, I received a DM from a regular viewer who will remain nameless until they show up, at which point I shall, Chicago Boy 61. Give me a minute. Liz says you're getting a divorce. Been there, did it. I received a DM last night with a link to a special event that was happening on YouTube. Now, because I knew this was newsworthy, I did the right thing for you, the viewer. And I subjected myself to an hour of this. And what it was the full information on the Reunion of Abba. Yes, there you have it. Benny, Bjorn, Frida, and what's her name are officially getting back together. They are officially back together. Now, they had threatened that there were 2 new songs. It turns out there's going to be a full album. The album, now let me read this. This is according to Digital Music News. ABBA and Universal Music Group unveiled a new album. It is called Voyage, and it is slated to be released on Friday, November 5th. And there is a digital concert that is going to be shown next May. Now, this is the part that, one, intrigues me and scares the hell out of me at the same time. And I have questions about this, but we'll get into those in a minute. ABBA has released 2 of the song's 10 tracks. One is called I Still Have Faith in You, and the other one is called Don't Shut Me Down. And again, we'll get into those in a minute. Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus, who made headlines in recent months and years penned all 10 of the songs. Again, this is according to Digital Music News. Penned all 10 of the songs on Voyage, and according to the release from UMG, the band members recorded these tracks together at Benny's studio, Riksmixenveld in Stockholm. Even with the decidedly long stretch since ABBA's last recording session, Anderson states that he felt like no time had passed, while they emphasize that he's proud of the album. Despite their breakup some 4 decades ago and their many, sometimes contradictory, public comments regarding the possibility of a reunion, the artists have also put weeks and months into motion capture and performance techniques to create digital versions of themselves, working with an 850-strong team from Industrial Light and Magic. All right, there's a lot to absorb here, okay? So let's take this one step at a time. First off, from a personal standpoint, I know I have been an open critic of ABBA forever. Let me be clear. It's not that I don't like ABBA. I tolerate ABBA. I tolerate ABBA and I respect them as musicians. They're just not my cup of tea. Never was. What sticks in my craw is the fact that a pop band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they had absolutely no reason to be. They are not a rock group. I don't see it. I don't see the Beatles, the Stones, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Genesis, ABBA. Doesn't make sense to me, okay? And it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. So, to that point, I resent the band. But I still respect them as artists and musicians. I want to be clear on that. Now, that being said, I took the time out yesterday and even today, for the benefit of the show, to listen to the 2 new tracks that they have released. The first one, I Still Have Faith in You. This could have been off of Frida's solo album. It's very slow. It's not really ABBA-esque, so to speak, until it gets to almost the end. It's kind of like you could tell this was, I think this may have been the first song that they tried. Because it's just kind of weak by ABBA standards, okay? The second one, on the other hand, Don't Shut Me Down. If you are a fan of the band, you're going to like this a lot. It is very reminiscent of their signature sound. It's very upbeat. It's it will, the minute you hear the opening riffs, you hear, okay, this is ABBA. Okay, so to that end, yeah, that's probably my more favorite of the 2 right now. Now, as far as this concert goes, I have a problem with this, and I'll tell you why. The ABBA Voyage concert event is going to be scheduled to kick off in a, quote, purpose-built arena, end quote, in London's Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park on Friday, May 27th of next year. Tickets for the show will become available for purchase this coming Sunday, September 5th, for those who pre-order the album. You have to buy an album in order to be able to pre-order the tickets. The general sale will begin on September the 7th. Okay? So you're looking at, obviously, at least double platinum for the album, straight off. The creative process behind Voyage, again, quoting Digital Music News, which began as a 2-song mini project, and the nuances of the half-century-old group's digital performance series, besides an hour-long live stream, which is what I watched, and I tolerated, about the album and the hologram concert. All manners of superfans appeared in the live stream, which is true. They had happenings in Berlin, London, Sydney, New Zealand. It was really they tried their best to really make this an event. And then Bjorn and Benny sat down and they were interviewed for about a half hour and indicated the concert will feature 22 songs and run for about 90 minutes. Now, here is the problem that I have with this concert. Good evening, Princess. Carl Keegan, our favorite gay Irish teddy bear, has checked in. Good evening, Carl. I knew that you'd pop in on a very, what's turning out to be an ABBA-esque night. So they showed a video on the process that it took to make this concert. Typical, I come in when ABBA is being discussed. Of course. I would expect no less from you, quite frankly. I have the feeling on this that I had when I found out about Roy Orbison and Ronnie James Dio being toured as a hologram. Basically, what they're doing is they're taking... They put sensors on the band, which, by the way, these days looks like this. Yeah, how's that for a reality check? That is the members of ABBA as they look today, boys and girls. The two women don't get along. Both couples have been divorced. They have been denying these rumors for years. In fact, I had found out from a particular source that at one point, and I did not know this, in 2000, they were offered to reunite for 100 shows and were offered $1 billion. $1 billion. And they turned it down. So apparently, yeah, they are doing this for the music. But I have a problem. The band split in 1982, Elena. And they've only been seen together in public, I think, maybe all of twice in the last 40 years. Carl says the Swedes never aged. The original blonde lives in isolation on her own island in Sweden in a lake. Yeah, I got news for you. Take a really good look at this, okay? Yeah, they age. The Swedes age. I don't want to hear about it, okay? But what they did was the things that you see on them are sensors, and they had them perform and they had them move until they made what is now known as avatars. Get it? And they look now, when they do this voyage show, they will look like this. And to give you an idea of just how frightening this is, and these are the only two that I could find. But they did show a slight snippet on this special last night. Check this out. These are computer holograms. Here's Frida. And here's Agnetha. That's a fat lot different than this. Carl says, I believe their website crashed yesterday. It would not surprise me. It really would not surprise me. But, this is so strange because from now on, anytime you want to go to see ABBA, you're not going to see the real people. You're going to see these holograms playing with a live band and pre-recorded vocals. I have a problem with this because now Yeah, they're ironing out the oldness with CGI. That's exactly what they're doing. So now they'll always look like the disco dancing queens. Why? Tell me why. Have we become so vain? Have we become so scared of evolution and advance that now we can only see them as they were back in 79? Really? I mean, it's cute. Elena says it's not really a concert. Carl says, wait, we don't see them live? See, this is my thinking. We're not going to see them live. We're going to see holograms. So it's not really a concert. You're right. Chicago Boy 61 says they had a meeting and decided no one wants to pay to see crusty old ABBA. But they'll pay money to hear crusty old ABBA. The Voyage album, I guarantee you, this thing is coming out November 5th. I guarantee you this thing will be double platinum just in pre-orders alone. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for it. If you're down with the music, have at it. God bless you. That's great. You're musicians. That's what you do. You deserve it. They tried that with Michael Jackson, and it never worked. Well, no, not necessarily. See, with Michael, what they did was they took a lot of outtakes, and then they paired up people with him, like Justin Timberlake and, Drake and all that on one of his albums. So all they did was repackage old stuff. This is repackaging, but it's repackaging in a different way, which kind of bothers me. They're singing. They've recorded all their old tracks, from what I understand. They've done the vocals. And, of course, obviously, they've got the vocals for the new album. And it's going to be with a live band. But they're going to look like this. Why? ABBA will live forever. They tried it with Ronnie James Dio. They tried it with Roy Orbison. They tried it with Elvis. It didn't work. It's a fun concept. It's a great concept. But now what you're telling me is you have sunk millions into a purposely built stadium. Not just a theater, a stadium, an arena for this show. And we're going to get this? Huh? Don't get me wrong, kids. I'd much rather see this. I don't see any problem with it. In fact, one thing that really bothers me is the fact that Bjorn and Benny were the only ones that were part of this interview, and people were asking, where's Frida? Where's Agnetha? Well, they're not really into doing interviews. No, what this tells me is that you're that damn vain that you have to have holograms to perform these days. The fact that ABBA have gone along with this is scandalous, says Carl. They'll dress in those suits backstage, then perform the songs backstage, and then some projection system will create them on stage. No, this has been re-recorded. This is being pre-recorded. And all the animation is going on. And then these holograms will be projected while their voices play and the band plays along with it. If you remember the concept of what happened when they brought Ronnie James Dio on tour, although Ronnie's been dead for, 8 years now? And they did that where they had his band playing behind him, while he sang Holy Diver. Okay? It's that kind of thing. Chicago Boy says, I would feel better if they performed live off stage and let the avatars appear on stage. Then maybe they can come out for a bow at the end. The fact that they're not showing up at the venue is a problem. Yeah, exactly. They never did that much on stage in their career on stage apart from simple dancing, so there's no need for them to be projected in another form. That may be true, but again, my problem with this, pardon me, my problem with this is that they're very much alive and well. If you don't want to perform live, then don't do it. But don't give us this crap. I would much, much rather see this. I really would. But that, maybe that's just the old musician in me. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just because of the fact that, I'm 64 and I'm still performing live. I ain't doing no damn holograms. Yeah, Tim, but you haven't sold 250 million records. Well, that may be true, but I still go out live. I don't, how I look is how I look. Get over it, Frida. Do collagen injections or something. I don't know. Chris says there's nothing wrong with the avatars, so what if they are vain? That's their choice to make, and Dio didn't have the Star Wars people behind this avatar. That is very true. Yeah, a lot, from what I understand from Digital Music News, let me look this up again real fast, because I did read that. I did read where Industrial Light and Magic is George Lucas's company, which he founded in 1975. These digital versions of ABBA, circa 1979, will perform alongside a live 10-piece band at a concert series dubbed ABBA Voyage. Fans, probably because of mixed fan response to previous concerts featuring computer-generated depictions of artists, the word hologram is conspicuously absent from the release. No, they're not. They're not holograms. They're avatars. Get it? Little sister Judy from the CO popping in. Oh yeah, good to see you, little sister. Always glad that you're here. Carl says, are they actually talking to each other? Is this like Pink Floyd or the Beach Boys where they all hate each other? No, according to the interview, Benny said that they're all like old friends again. They really enjoyed each other's company in the studio. They had a really good time. But then again, anybody's going to say that to sell records. So who knows? Maybe it's all the chemistry would be bad since they don't get along all that well, says Elena. There's that possibility. And there's also the possibility that, unlike, let's say a Vegas show that Britney or Kiss would be doing, where they would have to do it all the time, then yeah, that would be a problem. That would be a problem in that they'd have to actually look at each other again, every day. Remember, these were two couples and they both divorced. Think about that for a minute. Pink Floyd performed in Dublin about 15 years ago, and they didn't even acknowledge one another on stage, and everybody saw this, and it affected the concert. Yeah, that's very true. I understand that one completely. Industrial Light and Magic also did the effects for Star Trek. Right. So, yeah, so this is quite something. But again, I'm happy for them. I'm really glad that, they've got a chance at a second, shot. And they obviously don't have to do this for the music or for the money anyway. According to London Mirror, as of August 2021, ABBA, the band itself, is worth upwards of $900 million US, according to wealthypersons.com. Obviously, the stage shows and the residuals from the album and the films obviously are doing, all kinds of things. They've made $3.1 million this year alone for their music. Sure ain't in streaming, that's for sure. So, yeah, individually they're worth about $100 million to $185 million. Individually. So anyway, how's your musical madness? My musical madness is fine, thank you very much. We will be taking place again in September. Obviously, the Hugs Gathering, which we are. I can tell you that they are going to be broadcasting this live on the air. We're still working on the video aspect of it, but audio-wise, You will be able to hear it that day, September 18th, Saturday. Myself and a plethora of great people, Yigga Digga, being the headliners of the show. Go to wrgg.org online or hugs@wrgg.com. Hugs, the word hugs@wrgg.com to get all the information on that. It'll be starting Saturday, September 18th. And it's going to be a hoot. It's going to be fantastic, and I really hope that you join in, not just to hear me, but to hear some incredible, incredible unsigned independent talent. It is going to be the likes of which has never been done before in the history of radio or just music in general. It's going to be quite something. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's take a break. And speaking of unsigned music, we'll do that. Maybe we'll come back and we'll do a song or something like that. Stick around. We'll be right back.
White dwarf in the ghetto plans to supersede punch drunk final momentum. Shove that turpentine, you seem fine in the ghetto. Refinance your fleet, come get down with your pedal. Ain't no strings on me, too high to come back down. Just some pen and some plans. Plan.
Yes, Carl, I have ads. Every once in a while, I have to take a break for, take a drink of water or get a cup of coffee or something like that. Let me see. A little sister wants to know, when do you leave for PA? Kate and I leave the 11th. Leave for where is what I want to know. I'm going to be leaving Chicago probably on the 15th. I will be collecting the band and we'll be getting out there. There's a few things technically that we have to do, last minute rehearsals and things like that. So we're going to be out there a little early. That's where the Hugs concert will be. Is it the same PA location? Yes. It is going to be in it's going to be in Table Rock, Pennsylvania. People are invited to go if you are friends of mine, and I consider you all my friends. So come on out. It'll be a lot of fun. You're leaving for Greece. Okay. Well, that's the word. I heard. So anyway, we land in Athens on the 12th. Nice. There you go. Land in Athens on the 12th and fall on your face the night of the 13th. I'm already at the door. Okay. So Carl's coming into Pennsylvania to see us live. That sounds like a plan. I like that thought. God, that would be terrifying to have you out here. Oh my God, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Carl says maybe because of COVID, they're adapting the concert format, fearing they won't be able to tour. No, I think what it is, and this is going back to the last segment, and I think what they're doing, very honestly, is they're just, they're old and lazy and they want to make money. Let's call this what it is. Okay. But again, if you're worth $1 billion, number one, why make an album? And number two, why spend the ducats if they in fact did that? I'm thinking they've got some kind of backer behind that. I mean, to actually build a building for the sake of just this one performance, really? Let's talk important stuff. How's the handicap? Thank you, Carl. I'm glad to see somebody understands what life is all about. It's improving. It's improving. I actually went out yesterday, as a matter of fact, and they paired me up with a nice gentleman by the name of Chris, who, like myself, he just likes to go out and play, and we had a great time, and I beat him senselessly. Let me hear. The Danimal and I will attend in avatar form. Okay. That'll work. I like that. Bring your Elena tars. See what I did there? I'm told there's yet another Gainer migration to a certain location. Yes, that is true. That is very true. And I was trying to get him on the show tonight to talk about the Press A album. We're referring to my son, Eric, who is a member of that band. I wanted to get him on the show tonight and talk about the album and plans and things like that. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it at the last second, which is fine. I understand. Let me see. Poor Christopher. Yes. No, Chris, you know what? I've got news for you, Carl. Chris is coming with me. He is coming with. So it's going to be an interesting several days. It really is. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. This is just going to be a great time. And if it's not, at least I'll have something to talk about. We are trying desperately to put together something so you guys will be able to see it here on the show. I can't promise you anything right now other than we are trying to do this. And we shall see. One way or another, we're going to try to bring back video of this show one way or another. I promise you. There's going to be a twosome. Yep. Carl, bet on it. How many hours by car? I usually leave here, when I drive out there, I usually leave about 10 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning, and I can get there by 12. I can get there by midnight. Of course, I gain an hour. That is to say, I lose an hour because I'm moving from Central to Eastern time zone. So, yeah, it's about an 11-hour, 12-hour drive. It's not bad. You and Chris in the same car for multiple hours, along with the rest of the band. Here's the situation. So originally it was going to be myself and just my guitarist, Ken Valskis. He suggested that he drive with me so that way we're getting this huge van that we can put all our equipment in, and we're going to drive out there. And he's like, well, I'll go with you, and that way we can drive together. We can share the ride. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. I have a son who plays in the band. He should be driving with me as well. That's the only, dad-like thing to do. Why have him drive by himself? So I asked him, I'm like, hey, man, you want to come with us? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Then my drummer, Scott, he went, well, this will be great. We'll all drive together. We'll make it like a band experience and stuff. So I've gone from a Grand Caravan to a 15-passenger van because now Chris, who is acting in capacity of road manager, is he's going to be driving along as well, along with all this equipment. Who's going to be Laurel and who's going to be Hardy? Maybe. Oh, Chris says maybe. We have to chat about that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We will. Not a problem. Don't you weasel out on me now, buddy. It don't work like that. I'm here to tell you. Jimmy is alleged to be coming. Jim is alleged to be coming with me. Again, this is one of those situations where suddenly, there may be last-second changes. So I'm kind of like, I know who I'm counting on. I know who I think is going to come. But either way, I'm ready for anything, which I'm very happy about. And we'll see what happens. One way or another, I'm going to be in Pennsylvania on the 18th, and I want you to hear it. Okay? Maybe see it too. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we shall see what we see when, in fact, we see it. Is exactly the attitude that I'm going with this. And if you can't make it, then in October the 29th, we'll be playing at the Brower House in Lombard. We're going to be playing with other people. The list I do not have as of this time. I'm trying to get it, but I will, and when I do, I will pass it along to you. So there's that. So anyway, yeah, so lots going on. Elena says it's all part of the grand adventure. Yes, it is. It's all part of my grand scheme to, dare I say it, take over the world. I have no idea where that came from. I just felt like doing it. Oh, man. Hey, let me do this. As long as I got this out. And we haven't done this yet today. So we'll get this done real fast. I have been I've been working on this song for a while. In fact, I'm thinking about recording this for some reason. This is a really cool song. You may remember this. It's an old bird song. The reason why I gotta say I got to let you go, baby, and right away after what you did. I can't stay on, and I'll probably feel a whole lot better when you're gone. Baby, for a long time you had me believe that your love was all mine and that you'd never leave. But after what you did, I can't stay on, and I'll probably feel a whole lot better when you're gone. Oh, when you're gone. Well, I gotta say, not like before, and I'm not gonna play your game anymore. After what you did, I can't stay on, and I probably feel a whole lot better when you're gone. And I probably feel a whole lot better when you're gone. And I probably feel a whole lot better when you're gone. Oh, when you're gone. Oh, when you're gone. Oh, when you're gone. Another tender romantic love ballad by your friends, the Birds. I've been working on that for a while. If you've never heard the song, it's like off their second album, and it's just a really great. The harmonies in there are really, really good. And Chicago Boy 61 is clapping. Thank you, Chicago Boy 61. I appreciate that. But yeah, might record that. Don't know. Haven't found out for sure. But we'll definitely get into it. Carl loves it. Thank you, Carl. Certainly do appreciate that, my friend. Did you read about this thing? You know, I know about people that like to take chances with their lives and go out on a limb and do all kinds of different things. But at the end of the day, you find out that it was just really a stupid move. Well, this was in a publication or a website called the Daily Caller. A young man has gone viral for his interaction with Logan Paul. Now, if you don't know who Logan Paul is a very well-known YouTube creator. He's got something like 13 million followers. And lately he's been doing this thing with his brother where they'll take on like boxers and MMA fighters for allegedly for charity, but that's another story altogether. But in this video, according to the Daily Caller, this guy Austin Wallace said that he literally quit his job where he was making $100,000 a year. And he drove cross country to find Logan Paul. He found Logan Paul, and Logan was at the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight. He was promoting this. And literally walks up to him live on TikTok or on video, whichever, and asks him for a job. And Logan, asks him, have you got what it takes? What have you got? And the guy looked at him and said, nothing. To which Logan replies, then why should I give you a job? He told him, that it was really cool that he quit his job and that it takes guts, but, now you got to get into something. And it shows this guy in his car in tears because Logan Paul turned him down. Elena says, you're making me think of this goofy milk crate thing that seems to have been short-lived. Yeah, I hope so too. But look, I know people that like to take chances with their lives. But it's like I've always told my boys, if you do something, have a backup. Okay? This guy walked into this with absolutely nothing. He quit his job before he went out to Vegas or Reno or wherever this fight was held to ask for a job, and he did not get it. And he recorded the entire damn thing. Chris says, nope, haven't paid attention, been too preoccupied with the dumpster fire that is Texas. We're not even going to get into that. We're not even going to get into that. Don't want to. Not gonna. But in any rate, yeah. So, what's this clown's name? Austin Wallace. Austin, if you're watching this show, which I assume you are because you obviously have nothing but time on your hands right now. That was a dumbass move. Just saying. Dude, you had it. You had six figures in your hand, in your pocket. You were there. And now you're just saying, I want to give all this up. Even the Daily Caller says, if you look at Austin Wallace's TikTok page, it's clear, it's very real, and the reaction from Logan Paul should tell you all you need to know. Obviously, I cannot show... I can't show the video because of, copyright violation or whatever the case may be, and I really don't feel like messing with the likes of Logan Paul. Yes, he has more subscribers than me. You're right. And he has more viewers than me. He's right. But he's a dumbass. All right? This is the guy that showed people hanging themselves. Okay? Let's call this what it is. Anybody remember that? I'm watching the Darwin Award competition. The warning labels have come off. Yeah, it's pretty well true. I'm just at the point where I'm just like, hey, let's just let let's just rip the Band-Aid off, as my son says, and let's just let evolution take its toll. That's the way I'm looking at it. Stupid people are going down. Yeah. Stupid people are on the rise, unfortunately, and a lot of them are in positions of power, which is really, really frightening. But we don't need to think about that because we have the holiday weekend in front of us, don't we, America? Yes, we do. So yeah, again, what are you guys' plans for the weekend? Are you doing the cookout thing? Are you traveling? Are you gonna just stay home and be couch potatoes? Are you gonna social distance? Are you gonna do any of that stuff? Let me know. If you're watching the replay, down in the comments, let me see what you got going. I'm just gonna hang out and do nothing. I may play a round of golf. Over the weekend. And I know that's the dumbest thing that I can do because everybody and their sister is off. So that means that every single golf course is going to be completely full. I get it. Okay? But I have a system. And I know what times people will not be golfing. There's an actual system to this. And if you go to a certain time, you can virtually have the entire place to yourself. I have learned, depending upon the course. So I'm planning on doing that. And like I said, Saturday we're going to start rehearsals with the band to get ready for Pennsylvania in a couple of weeks and to get ready for October in the Brower House. And that's going to be going on throughout the course of the week. Elena says, I want to take the Danimal on a paddle boat. That's an idea. That's a very good idea. I don't know of any places around here, though. I mean, there may be some places out by you, but around here, it ain't happening. There's no such thing. But that is a good idea. Paddle boats. Anybody going out traveling? I don't know why you'd want to. Because right now, just about every single state has a travel restriction, which is getting really silly. It's going back to last year, folks. Not a good thing. We did a few weeks ago and we had a blast. Well, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. That's a very good thing. There's so many travel restrictions going on, and it's like, come on. Judy says, I have a tradition where I leave the country the night before I go to karaoke. The night before I go to karaoke and drink and get dumped at the airport. So many jokes. And the last thing she remembers saying is, thanks, sailor. So, yeah. At least you just remember the karaoke part. I get it. At any rate, so, whatever you do, it's fun. I have no doubt. I have absolutely no doubt. At least the parts you remember, anyway. But I don't believe in that karaoke stuff. No. Rock and roll is a religion. Karaoke is a cult. Just putting it out there. At any rate, whatever you do, please stay safe over the weekend. Please, wear the damn mask. If you haven't got it yet, get the damn shot. Please. Please. I'm sick of having stuff canceled. I'm sick of wearing the mask. They just started that in the state of Illinois, where now you got to go back, mask mandates all over again. It's not good, gang. It's not good at all. And this has really got to stop, I hear these patriots, I'd take a bullet for my country. You won't take a needle for your neighbor. Shut up. Until you do, just shut up, okay? In the meantime, and even Carl is leaving us so early. Carl, it's always fun seeing our little gay Irish teddy bear. And it's fun seeing you. I appreciate it. Thank you all so very much for supporting the show. If you're new to this, hey, do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. I really want to get to my egotistical plateau of 100 subscribers. Ooh, I know, big time, right? But it has been a blast, and now there's a mutant virus. Yes, I know, there's a mutant variant. There's all kinds of mutant variants. There's tons of them. We need to stop it. Get the vaccination, we can get to herd immunity. Really? If you go to karaoke and sing ABBA, can you still do that live, or will Bjorn come and remove you from the venue? Hard to say at this point. Maybe copyright infringements. We don't know. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Stay safe. Stay well. Wear the damn mask. Get the damn shot. Like, subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff. In other words, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. We will see you next week. Peace.